This is for the Black History Month, which is African Caribbean history as the history of all. And we've got a story which I wrote in memory of Jessica Huntley, who's passed away, God bless her soul, and for Eric, who is still with us in the land of the living. And it's a story that I've written for them, which somehow illustrates their story. I'll play this along with my good friend, Mr. Keith Waithe. And, well, I hope you enjoy the journey. A long time ago in Ghana, West Africa, there lived the famous trickster Kwaku Anansi and his wife Asu. The eldest child of Kwaku Anansi was also known as Body Anansi Jr., named after his father. One day, Body Anansi received an invitation from his uncle Tarantula and auntie Therafosa Blondie. They were both living in the mythical land of many waters, South America, Guyana, amongst the rainforests, in a traditional Amerindian round house called a benab. Body and Nancy couldn't wait to see his aunties Therafosa and Blondie and Uncle Tarantula. He had never met them before, but Body remembers when he was just a youth man. His father, Kwaku Anansi, would tell him traditional stories about pyramids and the magic of the Olmec. That night, as Body and Nancy slept, his dreams navigated to the land of many waters. In the morning, when Body awoke, he was already ready. He just couldn't wait to leave and be on his way. Body imagination burned with a sense of adventure, which set his feet ablaze. Before Body got ready to leave, he went to receive his parents' blessings. Together, they granted Body safe travel. Body touched his mother and father's feet, as is the custom in parts of Africa, a sign of respect. Before Kwaku Anansi could say, Akwaba, Body Anansi had spun a gossamer silk thread, threw it up into the sky, held on, and was now riding on the back of the wind to the land of many waters. And soon enough, Buddy and Nancy arrived knocking on his uncle and auntie's door. Akwaba, Uncle Trani. Buddy and Nance greeted his uncle in a familiar term. Akwaba, Auntie Fefosa. Buddy and Nancy greeted them both in their native Ghanaian language. All the arachnid spider folk came to greet Buddy and Nancy warmly. Crick! They greeted him. Crack! Was Buddy's reply. As the weeks passed by, Buddy and Nancy moved amongst the creatures as if he was a native-born Guyanese rainforest resident. He felt at home. Buddy was having such a good time tantalizing, tricking, and sharing stories with all the arachnid community. Buddy and Nancy taught the children ancient African script and hieroglyphs, signs and symbols of high science from the north, south, east, and west of Africa. When the sun had gone down late in the evening, all would meet and gather around the communal campfire. Buddy and Nancy would retell his stories of the Ashanti Kingdom, of Ghana, and tales of the Oba from Benin. Buddy and Nancy spoke of the wondrous universities of Timbuktu in Mali, and on some starlit nights, the arachnid villagers would lay back with their faces to the night sky, listening to tales about the Dogon scientists who plotted the trajectory of the dog star. One day, Buddy and Nancy became aware that all the creatures of the rainforest were sad. You see, no one had seen or heard from their brother Panther in such a long time. All the creatures were concerned for his whereabouts and wanted to know what had happened to their friend. It seems that he had just disappeared. But to where? Buddy and Nancy saw Papa Tapia, the bush cow, passing by and stopped him to ask, "Papa Tapia," Buddy and Nancy inquired, "do you know what happened to Brother Panther? And do you know who can help me find out?" Papa Tapia told Buddy and Nancy that Sister Elephant could help. "Sister Elephant," shouted Buddy and Nancy, sounding surprised. "That's a myth. There are no elephants in the Amazon rainforest, no matter what." "Sister Elephant is from an ancient tribe of South American rainforest elephants that man has yet to discover," replied Papa Tapia. "She is one of the last of her kind. Only a few are left. She lives in the heart of the rainforest. You should go and meet with her. She is very resourceful. Brother Panther was one of her best friends. She will be willing to help you." Later that evening, Buddy and Nancy spoke with his uncle and aunt, telling them that he was going deeper into the interior of the Guyanese rainforest in search of adventure. Little did his cousins know that Buddy and Nancy was conjuring up a plan. In the morning, when Buddy and Nancy awoke, he spun a gossamer thread of silk, which caught the silky thread and speedily transported Buddy and Nancy into the interior of the Guyanese rainforest. His journey or adventure had begun. Soon enough, Buddy and Nancy arrived at a location along the Ruporuni River, and true to Papa Tapia's word, Buddy and Nancy found Sister Elephant, who had heard that Brother and Nancy wanted to speak to her. And there she stood, waiting amongst the tall, towering cathedrals and dense vegetation of the rainforest. Sister Elephant greeted Brother Nancy and led him deeper and deeper still into the thick, dense grove of ancient, overgrown silk cotton trees that were crowned with such majesticness. They protected Sister Elephant's exclusivity from detection. The humid heat made everything sweat, and Brother Nancy would never forget this day. Later on in the evening, they shared many a moment together, talking, eating, and discussing many things. Sister Elephant talked about the people and the rainforest, teeming with life. She explained to Buddy and Nancy that she is from a long line of elephants, born with the power of remembrance. Sister Elephant drew an outline on the earth of the continent of South America and pinpointed Guyana, saying, "Once we were many, now we are few." Sister Elephant was quietly spoken, beautifully intelligent and compassionate towards all creatures big and small, and when she spoke, her eyes sparkled with interest. Buddy and Nancy was touched by Sister Elephant's words. He saw that together they had so much in common. Buddy and Nancy had found his elusive Sister Elephant. Sister Elephant looked sad. With a quiet voice, she reflected, "Brother Panther's me good friend." She almost whispered the words. "The last time I saw Brother Panther, he told me that the rainforest is in danger and that he knew exactly what is going on." "What is going on?" open-eyed Buddy and Nancy asked. Sister Elephant confided in Buddy and Nancy as she looked deep into his big eyes, saying, "Brother Panther had been at a meeting with the creatures of the rainforest, grounding and reasoning with them. After the meeting, Panther was driving back to meet up with Brother Jaguar. Brother Jaguar waited and waited, but Brother Panther never arrived. It was Brother Jaguar who raised the alarm that Brother Panther was missing. He just disappeared, vanished into thin air." Sister Elephant's eyes watered up as she looked away, whispering to herself, "Somebody must know something." As Buddy and Nancy heard her story, he also questioned himself. So what happened to Brother Panther, he thought, as he rolled a gossamer ball of silk-tangled web between his hands in contemplation, wondering how best he could give his support to Brother Panther's cause. It sounds to me like someone wanted Brother Panther out of the way, was Brother Nancy's conclusion. Now listen, you have to understand that Buddy and Nancy was just as tricky as his father, the famed Kweku and Nancy, and all this news and intrigue made Buddy and Nancy's spider senses begin to tingle. Buddy and Nancy turned to Sister Elephant saying, "I is the Spider-Man to pick sense out of nonsense, and I ain't backward for coming forward. Someone wanted to keep Brother Panther quiet, and my tricky spider senses are tingling. Sister Elephant, let me ask around, see if anyone knows what may have happened to Brother Panther." Buddy and Nancy announced, "Doing nothing is not an option. I will help you and all of your matty them. I will help you find out what happened to your friend. Let me call Brother Jaguar. Let me hear what he got to say." Picked up a log and struck it against a hollow tree, which sounded out across the rainforest. Brother Jaguar heard the call and came out from hiding and was now standing before them. Sister Elephant greeted Brother Jaguar. Buddy and Nancy questioned him. "So what's going on? Tell me what you know, partner." Brother Jaguar's eyes penetrated deep into Brother and Nancy's. Sister Elephant calmed Brother Jaguar's suspicions and introduced Buddy and Nancy, saying, "Brother Jaguar, I know you are shy to talk, but Buddy and Nancy is here to give his support to our cause. Tell him your story. It's okay." Brother Jaguar became less self-conscious. "I believe that Afam Mosquito had something to do with Brother Panther's disappearance," Brother Jaguar said in a low voice which sounded like Kazrip. "Brother Panther was returning to tell me everything. I waited and waited, and I have been waiting for this day to come. There was nothing I could do alone. If you are here to help, then we need to find out the truth about Brother Panther's disappearance. Why, where, who, and how?" Brother Jaguar sounded determined and defiant. Just then, Buddy and Nancy turned to Sister Elephant with the excitement of a young child eager to say something. "We need to find out if anyone else has heard, saw, or knows what may have happened to Brother Panther and Afam Mosquito's possible involvement in this affair." Buddy and Nancy continued, "Something has to be done. Let me tell all the creatures of the rainforest the story. They can spread the word. Let me ask them to find out what they can and to report back what they've heard. If Afam Mosquito implemented in this affray or not. The truth must come out someday, and that day is today." "Yes," exclaimed Brother Jaguar. "In agreement, I will run to every village and find out what I can. I will report back to you all that I know and all who I scan." Then Brother Jaguar turned, bounded into the rainforest amongst the dense foliage, and was gone. "Sound the alarm!" Buddy and Nancy gleefully laughed as Sister Elephant struck the hollow tree once again. all the creatures of the rainforest, Buddy and Nancy shouted, jumping around from one leg to another. Call them all. Once again, Sister Elephant struck a hollow tree and called out to Brother Toucan, Brother Hudson Skunk, Great Sister Kiss, Uncle BB, the bush rocket, telling him, jump, jump, my bright yellow-eyed one, jump to all and tell Annie and Eta, Uncle Agouti, Cousin Tortoise, and Brother Otter, the water dog. Sister Elephant continued striking at the tree and called Cayman Black, Grimacing Piranha, Grandfather Anaconda, the Bushmaster, Manatee Sweet, the sea cow, Bobby Bottlenose Dolphin, and all freshwater and saltwater fish, saying, go, go, swim, spread the word. Sister Elephant struck at the tree with such a constant rhythm, it sounded like the heartbeat of the rainforest. She called out to the mighty harpy eagle, also known as the flying wolf, and Harry, the howling monkey. She told them, send out your howling shrill. Let all who can hear you, from treetop to treetop, from mountain to mountain, from Maruma to Biluku, from seawall to Wakulund. Send out the message that Brother Panther is missing. Someone must have seen something, heard something, or knows something about what has happened. Find out what you can and report back to us what you have learned. Now all of you, go. Trees and branches rustled. The forest floor was overturned, and creatures crawled, walked, flew, swam, jumped, ran, scuttled, slithered, swang, and scampered in all directions to spread the news. Buddy and Nancy looked at Sister Elephant and said, I will help you and all you matty them. I will help you find out what happened to your friend. Then he turned to all the arachnids and said, now go, scatter and cluster wherever you can. Use your power of arachnophobia. Take up residence in ceiling rafters and the high corners of walls. Listen into conversations and find out as much as you can about what's going on. Remember, Buddy and Nancy warned them, not all skin teeth are laugh. Now let we go. Buddy embraced Sister Elephant tenderly, saying, I will return to report back all that I have learned, don't you worry. Then like a Spider-Man on a mission, Buddy and Nancy unspun the tangled gossamer ball of silk thread which he held in his hands, threw it up into the wind which caught the silken thread and lifted Buddy and Nancy up, rising above the trees as he held on, riding the back of the thermal current and flying speedily away. Sister Elephant held her head up to the sky and called upon Buddy and Nancy, saying, Comrade and Nancy, be careful, you little but you talawa. I will not forget you. I will not forget none of you all. And the rainforest became a cacophony of sound as Sister Elephant trumpeted like never before. people, the Makusi, the Caribs, the TUUP, and many, many more, living within the rainforest, gathered together, the custodians of knowledge, the shaman and the medicine women, beat upon sacred drums to the Great Spirit, the keeper of thunderbolts, and his wife, who when she streaks across the sky, she is like a lightning eel, a power to behold, which made all living things run for cover, afraid of her spiky electric touch. Grandfathers, mothers, boys and girls, busily wove and prepared webbed geometric dimensional dream catchers to ensnare Makunaima, the trickster spirit, and open the pathway for the sun child, Amakalava, to Archie's rainbow of iridescent shining light, sending out beams of color as the wind vortexed a somersault of approval throughout the Guyanese rainforest. Elders offered up offerings of beverage and prayed in the hope of better times to come. Now, one day, while Afa Mosquito was buzzing around looking for something to bite, Mosquito overheard what the creatures in the rainforest were planning, and at Buddy and Nancy, Sister Elephant and Brother Jaguar were all the ringleaders, trying to find out what happened to Brother Panther and his disappearance. Afa Mosquito became very fearful, for it was he who severely bit Brother Panther, causing his car to be run off the road. You see, Afa Mosquito wanted territorial control and political power over the rainforest, the land throughout the length and breadth of the Essequibo River. He was buzzing around. That's why when Brother and Nancy, Sister Elephant and Brother Jaguar and all the creatures inquiring questions had to be stopped, and had to be stopped now. So Afa Mosquito called his gang, the Sandfly Posse, to be his chief interrogators, giving them orders to flush out all the creatures from within the rainforest. He told them to bite and sting anyone who opposed him. The order was given to block all the mangroves, creeks, estuaries, rivers, and roads in search of the ringleaders. When all the animals of the rainforest realized that the Sandfly Posse were buzzing around everywhere, some decided to go into hiding. Sister Elephant, Buddy and Nancy, and Brother Jaguar retreated deep into the heart of the interior, far away from Afa Mosquito and the Sandfly Posse's cordon-stinging net, which descended around all. What are we to do? Asked Sister Elephant. You know how Mosquito love power and the blood of man. His Sandfly Posse are flying around everywhere, biting and stinging everyone into silent submission and looking for us. That's when old Brother Hudson, a most respected bird, stepped forward saying, It would be best if you all left the country as soon as possible and continue the fight from abroad, informing all creatures of the imminent danger of our corner of the rainforest. I will not leave, Brother Jaguar replied. As for me, I will go back into hiding. I will become your eyes and ears, relaying back to you what Afam Mosquito and his sandfly posse are doing to our rainforest. I will hide out and disappear amongst the dense foliage. I am camouflaged to blend in, continued Brother Jaguar. If you need me, I will be in the back dam near Boxton village. The sugarcane grows thick, tall, and the people are strong and united. It is said that they have the power to stop a train. They will protect me. Don't you worry about that. Then the four animals embraced each other. Brother Jaguar turned, leapt, bounding into the dense rainforest as a mottled coat camouflaged him to disappear, and then he was gone. Old Brother Hodgson continued, I have heard that there is an expedition to find out if the elusive South American rainforest elephant actually exists. I have good relations with one of the expedition leaders, Brother Hodgson explained. I have secured safe passage to smuggle you both out of Guyana and into England. Nancy did not wish to leave their beloved Guyana. But Brother Hodgson said, you both must go, spread the word, speak out, all power to the creatures. The struggle continues. Now make haste and let us go. Brother Hodgson arranged the meeting with the expedition so that Sister Elephant and Brother Nancy were smuggled out of Guyana under a cloak of rainforest mist, bound for London, England. Coming in for sure. They were both sad to leave their beloved country, land of many waters, but they promised each other that they would return one day. But for now, they would continue their struggle wherever they go. When Sister Elephant and Buddy and Nancy arrived in England, it was nothing like the Amazon rainforest, but it did rain a lot, which made it feel a bit more like home. Home for the newly arrived was to move into a small village named Ealing. Buddy and Nancy spun a beautiful cobweb, which in time became their beloved home. Sister Elephant and Buddy and Nancy celebrated their union in marriage, and over the past years they had 3 children named Incy, Wincy, and Spider. While they lived in London, building a family and giving support to local communities, Brother Jaguar kept his promise and continued to inform Brother Nancy and Sister Elephant about what Afam Mosquito and his Sandfly posse were doing to underdevelop the rainforest. Sister Elephant and Brother Nancy centralized and organized to publish pamphlets, journals, essays, and books by different writers and thinkers. Together, they wove many connecting webs, posting their findings on the World Wide Web, an Anansi invention. And word spread from coast to coast across Buddy Anansi's website called Anansi Score. The news went viral so that people all over the world could see and read what was happening for themselves. Sister Elephant and Buddy Nancy combined their efforts to inform and transform the arachnid spider folk living in their newfound land, England. Together, they forged support and awakened the community spirit with weekend gatherings, traditional African Caribbean folk tales and legends about Buddy Anansi's father, Kweku Anansi, and tales of Africa's expanding empires, kingdoms and circumnavigational voyages around the world. This helped to cement Sister Elephant and Brother Nancy firmly within the surrounding communities, which spun around them like satellites around a gravitational planet. Sister Elephant and Buddy and Nancy had won the respect, support and recognition from the whole community of their village in Ealing, London. So much so that a plaque of dedication was presented to Sister Elephant and Buddy and Nancy. It was fixed to the outside wall of their cobwebbed house, so all would know of their commitment to the struggle. And through the passage of time, the sun kissed the moon once, twice, or thrice, and the years passed by. Buddy and Nancy and Sister Elephant rejoiced to see grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and greater still to come. And the years continued. Like a flower which blooms and fades away, only to bloom in the light of a new day, and the moon to wipe away its tears. One day, Sister Elephant said to Brother Nancy, I want to shake this Relton blues I'm feeling. I would love for us to revisit Guyana, my land of many waters. Yes, Brother Nancy added, and Ghana, how great it would be to complete our journey and return to the land from which both our stories had begun. Yes, 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 exclaimed Buddy and Nancy, dancing from one foot to the other, all around Sister Elephant, making her head spin. Then he looked into her eyes. Yes, let's go visit Guyana and Ghana. And so said, so dumb. Buddy and Nancy and Sister Elephant returned to the South American rainforest of Guyana, the mystical land of many waters, and then onward, forward to Africa, where they were welcomed back home. Drink and food, celebrations were had in their honor, as if they had never left, and to this very day they will always be remembered.